question. Yeah.
I never said we don't make serious. I
didn't know that it's
I didn't hear. Alright, so what are we gonna do? Is that the question gonna be thrown? Is it gonna be an introduction?
No, it's a
Like,
conversation.
talk about. Oh, sorry.
Are we going to introduce
How would you
ourselves?
introduce ourselves?
Introduce herself first.
Alright, so just pick up from there.
Yeah.
I'll start.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Dr. Sara Lawrence Lewis. I'm very familiar with many of you here. I'm an obstetrician and a gynecologist, so therefore women's health is my passion. I'm so excited for this discussion today. You say you're starting at pregnancy, but I like to start from
Way before.
way before that, when you become a young lady. You know, when women start the menstrual cycle, and as we go through the emotions behind it, the physical aspect behind it. So I think we'll all work with a good synergy because we all do different aspects of it, but I'll deal with the health part.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies, it's such an honor to be here with you guys. My name is Dr. Sandra Swaby, cosmetic surgeon here in Kingston, Jamaica. Most of my clients are women, and hence my passion for women's health. Actually, I'm also trying to focus much more on males because they do need a lot more attention than we think they do. But nevertheless, one of the aspects of women's health that I think we need to delve a little bit more into is the spiritual aspect. How we function as spiritual beings, as sources of feminine energy, and how we can complement our males, our children, in terms of the way we turn up each day and inspire our fellow women, our fellow queens, our fellow sisters to also turn up in the best way possible with the brightest light shining. So if we can have that conversation, listen, I'm all here for it.
Sure.
Hi guys, thanks again for the invitation to be a part of this discussion. I'm Patrice J. White. I'm a serial entrepreneur first, but I'm a health and wellness coach. I like the fact that we're having conversations about health, especially health where women are concerned. One of the issues I deal with a lot of my clients, especially female clients, is the mental element of it. Because our mindset is not right from the beginning, and it goes back into what Dr. Lawrence said in terms of from a young age, a conversation from a young age. So if our mindset is not right, even though we're working on the physical element of how it is that we should look and turn up, because our mental element is not correct, it affects everything and how it is that we show up and turn up to be the best version of ourselves. So I'm looking forward to this conversation that we will all have, the discussions that will take place, to share and to ensure that we're educating persons about how it is that they should take care of their health.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get along. So Dr. Sarah, you talk about touching the younger age group from teenage age. That's where you're going with the conversation from?
Well, just first of all, as a woman, we should be able to embrace our womanhood from a very young age. I don't know if it's culturally, but we don't really, there are a lot of things that we said on a hush, and when the period come, hook up this thing and just do this and come talk to me. And, as every single woman you see would have experienced a period for the first time or an abnormality in the period or so, but we don't speak about it as a group of friends or as young ladies. And what makes us unique is our reproductive system. We are able to bring forth life. And the moment we see our period, that's the moment our life changes. Different things are happening in our body. Hormones are surging. It has a manifestation physically, emotionally, mentally, and, as I said, physically. And it's a lot. So with teenagers, I'm a mother of a teen, it's a boy, but I see his friends and everything and a lot going on, and I have to be like, it's the hormones. You have to remember that a lot of things are going on the back end. But having a profound understanding of it can let us mitigate some of the things, because a lot of things get set in your teenage years and you take it with you throughout life because we kind of just shrug it under the rug, or you cuss them off, or why are you this? Why are you that? Putting all sorts of aspersions on the kids from such a young age when it's really a physiological thing that's going on. So that's why I started from early. I love when I have high schoolers, young ladies around the time when they're just starting to menstruate coming in. And of course, many times the mothers are coming in with PMS symptoms and what's going on with their children. I'm like, my mother would be the first one to remind me, listen, you were this and you were that, So it's just linking things together and understanding when you have a discussion now, you can quickly pick up what is abnormal, because if you don't speak about it, you will never know. Some people think changing 10 pads a day is normal. That's not normal. But if you don't speak about it, if you don't have a gynecologist that you're liaising with, you can be like, that's a little heavy. When did it start? How is it going? How is the pain? Are you missing school? How is it affecting your life? Because a period is something that we're going to have and we're going to have for a very long time. So why we need to demystify the discussion around it, and how it affects your mental health, your interpersonal things. There are people who are about to lose their job because of PMS symptoms. And it's real. Some people think it's just an excuse for women to behave badly, But I take it as a mandate to say, okay, let's go on. What's going on in your life? How you feel about it? It make you angry? It make you sad? You're annoyed? You want this thing to go away? You want to have children? Because everybody wants to have children, Some people want it. Some people don't want it. If you want it and you're in your early 20s, let's start putting things in place. So when you reach your 30s, you're in the best reproductive health. So I'm all about starting discussion from early, recognizing what's normal, what's abnormal, what are your issues, and dealing with them head on.
Very important.
And Dr. Sandra Harris, anything to add to that?
I was just thinking about a staff member of mine. She came to the office one day and she was depressed. I saw a change in her mood. And so later in the day, she asked me, Doc, if I could talk to you for a minute. So I said, oh, okay, good. So, so when I didn't say, but I was just like, okay, I was waiting for something.
Yes.
And she came in and she said, Doc, my daughter started her menses today and I'm so worried and I'm so depressed and I'm so stressed out about it. And I said, why are you stressed out about it? What it is about your daughter having her menses, why it stresses you out? Well, she's 12 and she's so young. So I said, what age did you have your menses? Well, 12 too. But I was okay with it. I said, but your daughter will be okay with it too. Yeah. Is she having any pain, any discomfort? No. So her anxiety was just about her daughter going into this stage of sort of womanhood. And her anxieties were being displaced into the direction of fear instead of, hey, this is normal. Right. This is something that was meant to happen to you. It's okay. Let's talk about the number of pads, the type of pads, how you're going to maintain hygiene. I say, focus on that conversation, welcome her into the world of womanhood and let it flow.
And real talk, I think a lot of women are like, gosh, I'm going to turn big woman. No one them can get pregnant.
Yes.
And that is a real fear.
Correct.
Yes. And
correct.
I mean, honestly, the pregnancy argument has nothing to do with the actual period.
Exactly.
It's real about the relationship you're having with your child and
the
relationships you're having with others and what's appropriate and what's inappropriate at what age. So if you are now pushing her away with this, she will talk to somebody, She will talk to her friend them.
Correct.
Or somebody who will some other adult that just will just talk the things and may not be the information you want her to have.
Right.
So
just remember also
in the right direction
is very important.
Yeah.
Just remember also 1 in 4 females in this country is raped before they're 14. So there are 4 women sitting around here. So one of us,
statistically.
Well, I am that statistic. I am. Yes.
And so, Patrice, from your point, as of
sorry, I wanted to complete the point.
Okay, sorry.
That some of the anxieties stem from mothers who were raped, and now they want to protect this child and they're going to protect the child, but they're like, okay, the moments that I'm not there, and if she gets raped and get pregnant, just like how I was raped. I just wanted to put that in the mix because that's a huge part of our culture here in Jamaica, child rape. Huge part. Sorry about that.
So I was saying to you, Patrice, from the fitness point, these persons going through their menstruation and might need a little help with the pain. And I know the exercise sometimes helps.
The exercise helps. I always encourage my clients to try to keep active. I actually did an Instagram post around 8 weeks ago where I said, females, let's talk about working out while seeing your period. And it started one long conversation on my post, because as, Sarah said, people shy away from having these type of conversation. It's a taboo conversation, but there's a lot of things that we experience or that our body goes through when we're seeing our period and we don't want to work out. We use that as an excuse not to work out. But, as long as you're able to, The pain threshold is okay. Because, you do have some persons where that threshold, they just can't do anything at all. My daughter is one of those. My daughter cannot get through the first day of her period, unless she's on medication. So, from very early out, I had to have her working with a gyno in terms of the meds to try to figure out what's going on with her, because that's how bad it shuts her down. But as long as you're at that pain level where you can work out, I don't have anything against it. I don't see anything wrong with it. You should work out.
I can remember myself growing up as a young lady, having my menses in the early part. And trust me, I used to miss school the first day because of it. Because the vomiting, the pain was just unbearable. So I know that they are going through the different phases, the different issues. And these are stuff that we as women need to spread the news that once you can control the pain, see as your gynae, make sure you follow up with those visits, get the
and a part of
professional
it is
advice.
just not accepting it. Some people say this is part and parcel with their period. But if some people are having symptoms 4 to 7 days a week, that's 1 week out of the month. That's a quarter of your year, a quarter of your life that you're in pain and not productive. That don't make no sense. That's impossible.
Exactly.
Yeah. Impossible. So if you accept that and hug that up, a quarter of your life is not productive.
Exactly.
That cannot work.
Can't.
Yes.
To touch to what Sarah was saying, like when my daughter just started her menstruation, I literally watch like when the pain, like it's ripping her body apart. To the point where I started crying because, as a mother, you want to protect your child. And I remember when I had a conversation with a gyno before finding the right gyno, because, everything comes about finding the right person. When I had that initial conversation, I'm like, this can't be normal. And she's like, it will get better with each menstruation. And with each cycle that comes, I'd keep on getting these phone calls from school. Hey, you have to come for the pain is so unbearable. When I turn up to pick up my daughter from high school, it's like I see a shell. So I started doing the research in terms of phone calls upon phone calls, gynos upon gynos, until I found a gyno and she started doing, the different trial and errors to kind of figure out what's going on with her in terms of her cycle. To the point where, okay, we have identified what's the issue. We know what's a corrective step that we need to take. Until we take that corrective step, this is what we're going to do to ensure that, it is bearable for the first 3 days. Because for the first 3 days, it's unbearable. Now, imagine if I just listen and hug it up and have her bearing it. When you reach C-sec, her cycle started right during exam time. She would not be able to do her exams. So we can't, as parents, shun away from having the conversation with our kids in terms of what it is that they're experiencing where their body is concerned, or what it is that they're feeling, what it is that they're going through, and how it is affecting them mentally. Yes. Because for my daughter, every time it is that she's in that cycle stage, before we, find the perfect gyno, it used to affect her where her grades are concerned in terms of her schoolwork. Because mentally, she just didn't want to get out of bed. Mentally, she was afraid of when it's coming to that time of the month because of the pain that would have ravaged her body.
Yeah.
So, evolutionary, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
What's nature's reason?
For the pain?
For the pain.
Okay, so
I know anatomically and physiological why,
yes.
But what's the reason? Because nature wants us to embrace our menses, because nature wants us to have children and look forward to it.
So pain is not, I don't want to say pain is normal. Because there are many persons who menstruate without pain.
Correct.
The actual presence of the pain means that there's something going on in the back end, whether it is that there's a passage of a clot or there's additional work, because the uterus is just a big muscle.
Right.
Muscles hurt. When you work it, it works. When they contract, it hurts. Some persons, so we have two types of pain. Pain that occurred from the very first time you started seeing a period. We call that primary dysmenorrhea. That's a totally different thing. And there's a pain that develops as the period progresses. So let me talk about the one through life as you progress. So that means your period wasn't painful. It started to get painful. What is it? Do you now have fibroids? Do you now have something else going on that's on the back end? Some pathology. So that's nature's way of saying, look, remember when you're 16 up to 25, there was no pain, and all of a sudden now every cycle is worse. What's going on? Let's check for fibroids. So something is there. Now there's a different entity of persons who have it from the very first moment they had their period. So they unfortunately have painful periods. The thing about pain is relative. And there are no awards given out for those who can hold pain. The other day, I had a lady coming with her daughter, and she's like, I used to go through it too, but I never used to miss school. And I never used to do it until eventually, Mommy, you can come out one little bit. Just one little bit, because she feeling pain. She feeling pain. And that's just what it is. And I just tell her to take the hot water, I tell her to drink the ginger tea. I say, all right, darling. We're going to revamp and see what it is. So pain is relative.
Yeah.
Some people can take whole heap of pain.
And some
Kudos to you. And some people can't. That's not my job to tell you what you can take or what you can't take. My job is to assist you as best as possible with what is going on in your body. Once you have established it is not a pathology, like something is wrong, primary discipline is not a pathology. That means your periods are painful.
Right.
Your periods are painful. You're 12. You're going to see periods straight go up to 50. We need to do something about it. But if you had normal periods and now they are painful,
right.
something.
So it's not nature then, but some of it.
So it's not all of it.
Well, I must confess, when my daughter started her period, I don't think I was sympathetic at all. Like, I was like, child, it's just your period. Like, I literally said that. That was the first. And then I realized that month, and the second month came and she was still paralyzed. I was like,
something's wrong.
let me try and remember if I was paralyzed. And I remember I said, no, I wasn't paralyzed, you know? And then the third month it came again and I said, all right, Sandra, this child is not you when you are growing up. Just take a look at what's happening with this child. Forget about you, because sometimes we make it all about us. As a mother, I'm guilty of it sometimes. Like, I make it all about like me, but no, it's really about this different human being that is in front of you, has a whole different hormonal profile, have a whole different mindset, is being grown up by TikTok and Instagram, that is telling them that whenever they feel pain, they're not to keep it. And, you know,
and if there's stress,
there's stress with the job. And, you know, if this is outside of what you feel comfortable with, don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I
and a part of it, I think, is confession, but I think you're trying to relate to her too. You're like, at this stage, what was I going through? But it's really not about that.
I know.
It's kind of just forgetting about it and then like, how can I support you in what you're going through?
Correct.
So be kind to yourself. I don't think you're trying to be a dragon, but I think you were saying, all right, but everybody's so bad.
Yes.
You know, I was
Moving on to the transition from the menstruation into pregnancy. These are some other issues that the women might have. Now you're in pregnancy, the different changes that your body go through, you have to accept, you put on the weight, you feel uncomfortable because after putting all this weight, you wonder how you're gonna lose it.
Right.
Let us talk about that.
Yes.
So we're looking at the age.
Patrice,
So first, what are some of the things that a 20-year-old, 30-year-old up to that age?
So first thing, when you just have a baby, we need to shy away from the social media world that we need to snap back instantly. You understand me? We need to enjoy being a mother. We need to enjoy motherhood. And, you know, as both doctors up here will say, can agree to, your body has gone through a traumatic experience. You understand me? So you have to allow your body to recover. Now, for some persons, their recovery process, and when I say recovery process, I'm talking about in terms of their snapback. I don't want to use the word snapback, so I use the word recovery process. For some persons, their recovery process will be quicker than other persons for various reasons. Genetics is one. Number two, you will have an individual who work right throughout her pregnancy. So, you know, when you have the baby, etc., your body naturally goes back to the natural form. You have other persons where, breastfeeding and all these other factors play a role in terms of how it is that you recover. And then you have persons like myself and other persons who did cesarean. Your recovery process is going to be different from the persons who did natural birth. You have to, number one, you have to ensure that you get clearance from your doctor before you can start working out. And even when you get that clearance at 12 weeks, for most persons, some persons might get it earlier. When you get that clearance, your doctor will still say to you that you're not doing major exercises. You're slowly working your way back into it. You understand me? So when you give birth, let us just ignore the social media thing that is saying that we should snap back. Now, a mother in her 20s that give birth, her recovery process will be different from a mother in her 40s that give birth. You understand me? We don't have youth on our side. You understand? We have to accept that fact. We don't have the metabolism that we had when we were in our 20s on our side as when we were in our 40s and 50s. You understand what I'm saying? You might be in your 20s, you're very, very healthy, but then in your 40s or 50s, you now have different health issues. You're on different medications and all these things. These are things that will affect your recovery process. You realize, we're not sticking to we're not snap back, your recovery process. So
Restoration.
Yeah.
Restoration.
Because I like that.
Restoration. Thank you.
And or
Your
just
restoration.
rehabilitation.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
this is the new you. I don't think the old you was the new that you need to attain. And I think a lot of it, Patrice, is tapering expectations. And a lot of it is putting a filter on, as you say, social media and the whole world showing this one who immediately after, look, or whatever. That is ridiculous. So everybody that comes in my office, I find out their weight, right? And that is the worst part. And the scale is right outside my office. But the nurse do it and I'm always chuckling because they're like, Lord, God, me have to do this. Da, 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 da. And they see the weight and it's an exclamation. And when they come in, I'm like, so what was your ideal weight? And they're reeling off a weight from in their early 20s. And I'm like, you really want to look again? Honestly, talk truth.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to in your 30s or 40s look like how you looked when you're in your teenage years. It actually could possibly look unhealthy. As I remember, I'm not trying to say, I always joke and I say, that big one look there where you just look nice and fill out and they laugh and they get it. Because in their mind, they kind of had everybody, as women, we say we wish we were the way that we were when we thought we were fat. Because it's like society was built for us to never be okay at any pace. So when we're 20 and 100 and a little bit, we want to be 90. And when we're 100 and something, we want to be back when we were 20. And it's just we're chasing our tail. Stop it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. When you just made a human being, I mean, it can be traumatic and yes, coming from a labor that delivered this morning, trauma, but it is actually miraculous and magnificent. You made a whole life. Give yourself a break.
And both you and the life that you just brought are alive.
Yeah.
So that's alone.
And
is
that's
a
alone.
accomplishment. Yeah.
Give yourself a break. Okay, some of your skin will not be back like the way it used to be. So people be like, oh, you look so good. I'm like, my skin lost. It's okay.
But I'm going to premise what I'm about to say with the fact that I have never had a full-term pregnancy, right? So my empathy level is I need to work on it, right? I've had 12 pregnancies. I've lost all of them. The daughter who I referred to earlier is adopted, right? By the way, I gained weight in the 12 of them, although I didn't have any of them. So it's like 12 times taking it off. But I think we need to share with our fellow sisters, daughters, cousins that we have to really start planning for our pregnancy years and planning for our pregnancy. Not planning in terms of only with the sperm donor, source of the sperm we're going to use. This is so good. In other words, not only planning in terms of our relationship with our partner, but also in terms of our bodies. Because we have to get empowered. And if we're going to have, and I talk to my clients about this because they wanted a body enhancement, on the squeeze pregnancy in, before or after body enhancement. So we're having that conversation. Prepare your bodies for pregnancy. A lot of pregnancies are coincidental, just happy you get up and you pee on the stick. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. And I think that will make the restoration process a little easier. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
100%.
So in terms of getting physical, being active, and we're not talking about start from before.
And she said it.
Start from
I
before.
wanted to touch on that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we jumped from menarche, which is the beginning of, of your period, to pregnancy. But there's a preconceptual period
Correct.
that is so key.
Correct.
That you should be planning for. The fact is, though,
Yes.
only people just never plan for it.
I know. I know.
However, if you maintain a healthy lifestyle,
Right.
you kind of work on
You kind of were planning for it. Well, it's the kind of planning we need you to do.
Right.
We need you to say, listen, this temple, this body, what do I need from it? What does it need from me? In terms of my activity level, in terms of my food choices, listen, my BMI limit for cosmetic surgery, I have a maximum BMI limit, which is 30.1. And the reason why I changed it, I used to the girls with like 40, 42 BMI, and it was not making sense because they were just putting on back the fat. I was like feeding the beast, right? And I'm saying to you, if you wanna get this fabulous, awesomely sexy looking body, I think you have to work for it.
Put in the work.
Show me that you can get and maintain this weight for a year. Like we follow you for a year. And if you can keep it off and maintain it, then you can have this enhancement as a gift. That's how I put it. Because you have to work for everything that is great for you. And planning for our pregnancy in terms of our lifestyle is very, very important. And I think we have to get that message out.
Yeah.
Plan for it. Talk to our daughters about planning for it.
Yeah.
Talk to our daughters about, in terms of connecting to their bodies, how their bodies are feeling. Talk to
how
our,
it changes
talk to our girls
as they get
about
older.
contraceptives.
Yes.
Give them contraceptives,
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk to them about everything. Empower them with their sexuality. Empower them because, listen, they're going to be having all the sex.
One of the things that we might be missing too,
Yes.
planning for the pregnancy,
Yeah.
but we also need to financially plan.
Correct.
Facts.
One of the things that we
Correct.
keep on missing.
Correct.
These in your 20s, 30s, you probably just leave from mommy home, starting life on your own, probably have a little job.
Correct.
But we need to start from here that, okay, yes, pregnancy is here, a child is here. This child, we have to take care of this child to a certain age. And it might put a stress on you. You understand? So we need to do some financial planning too, so that we can able to take care of ourselves and this baby, especially if it's just a donor,
What do you mean, especially if it's just a donor?
the sperm donor.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. I know. But in Jamaica, part of the financial planning is to have babies.
Yeah.
That's financially planning. So what we need to take off the table right now is that having babies not it's not a viable option.
Expectation of women, they must have a child. You don't
Right.
have a child, then something wrong with you. You're not a
Right.
woman. They start questioning your womanhood.
Of course.
You understand me?
And in certain areas in Jamaica, that is done tremendously, intensely. And let's put it on the table. The amount of children that we have may very likely determine our own financial viability.
Yep.
And if we are unable to display a life of financial balance, then the risk of our children not being able to do that is also there. And so what is the legacy we want to share with our kids? And I'm not saying that women and men together are not doing it with 3, 4, 5 kids, but I'm saying let us see how we can do it best within our financial means. And of course, we're going against the cultural thing of, men having multiple children with multiple women. And, that is something that we can talk about too. But at the end of the day, as a woman, you're going to make the decision for yourself. Yeah. I remember, I'm a divorced, I'm on my second marriage, right? But in between, I was dating, right? And it's just so funny. As soon as you start to date somebody, the first thing they want to do is for you to have a child. I'm like, sir,
It's not about you.
I don't even know you, sir. No, sir. Back you. I wasn't planning to have any more children ever.
Right.
But when is having a child for you a dating conversation? No, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. But some women, they may feel like, if I don't have this child for him, he's going to go. He's going to go anyway. He's going to go anyway. So make the choice for yourself. That's what I wanted to say. Make the choice for yourself. Yeah.
We're looking at the age 30 to 40 age group. What are some of the advice that we want to give to these age group in terms of health-wise? What are some of the checks that we need to do during this time? What are some of the exercise we can do during this age group? What are some of the enhancements to change the look,
Very important.
beautify.
Not change
because
the
we're
look,
going,
enhance it.
Well, enhance. We're going up in age now, and we want to age crease.
Like me, we're afraid of old age. Oh my God. That's
Spoke about
You know,
gray
see, I
hair
love it.
earlier.
I love it too.
Some of
Oh
these
my!
that-
I love
hear
it.
what, Patrice? You're supposed to look good at 20. That's
Yeah.
No, man.
That's not impressive. But when
I'm
I don't know,
afraid
just I
that
was
bad.
obsessed with Tina Turner when I was younger.
Love
And we
Tina
used to see
Turner.
her legs, and
Yes.
she's what age?
Yes.
No, I have to be 50 odd and look
No.
like her. Because when you're 50 odd and you look good,
Love it.
that's amazing. When
Love
you're 60
it.
and 70 and you look good, that's amazing.
you feel
You
it.
become an internet. I don't mean
Yeah.
that's the reason they're internet sensations. A woman who work out and they look good because that is.
Well, that's
you
just the fit side
that's
of
the
it.
few and far.
But the gray ear side of it.
Oh
will
God,
come
you ever
with
see
it.
a full head of
There-
gray hair?
yeah.
Oh gosh.
I can't even
Oh,
talk
beautiful.
about the other
Beautiful.
parts that come with it.
Beautiful.
I don't.
The other gray hair.
Yeah, man, the other gray hair.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
It
Get
has
rid of it
stressed
before
me.
it turn grey.
Yeah.
Because
So
the laser don't work when it's
physic-
grey.
That's what I was
Girl,
afraid.
I start
Sarah didn't want to make it.
Sarah.
She said she's doing laser.
Oh, yeah, man, I
Sandra,
start
don't say
laser.
anything.
I
Don't
have to
say
get rid of
anything.
it, man. It's killing me. But so the physical side of it, you understand me? Once you start working out from an early age, from in your 20s, and you keep on maintaining that, you realize that you know you age gracefully. You understand what I'm saying? You're eating right. You age gracefully. I say to my clients, you should at 60, when you take a plane, I don't want to see no wheelchair meet you at the door. You understand me? You should be able, because 60 is just a number. You're still young.
Yes.
You should be able to get up
Yes.
out of that seat healthy and walk out.
Correct.
But you're not able to, because the things that you should pay priority to, we're not paying it priority to as women.
Correct.
As a woman, we balance a lot. We balance family, you understand
Yes.
me? You know, a lot of women, whether it is that they're married, whether it is that they're doing, you know, the child live with them, meaning that they're in single parent, the responsibility of the children lies on us. We're the one who's taking care of the family. Then now we're running down that career. So we focus on everything except our own health, which is our physical health, which is how it is that we eat, our mental health. You understand me? And then when everything comes crashing down, what do we have? Just a shell of an existence.
Correct.
So we need to start making sure that we're paying all three elements a priority from early. So my daughter is 19, you understand me? She loves the body that she's in. You know, she's one of those curvaceous, you know, black young lady, and she loves her body. And I'll say to her, Max, so I needed to start working out. And she's like, Mom, I don't want to lose my bottom, you know, I don't want to lose this. And I'm like, no, I'm not telling you to work out because I want you to lose weight.
Exactly.
I'm telling you to work out because I want you to be living a healthy lifestyle.
Correct.
She's a chef. She's in culinary school. She's creating all these marvelous dishes, but some of these marvelous dishes are unhealthy meals. So I need to ensure that she is practicing living that healthy lifestyle before she reaches her 40, and then life is now catching up on her and she's just trying to figure it out and trying to start. No, you start from day one.
Correct.
Now, what does living a healthy lifestyle means? People think that you're going to the gym and you're lifting up 300 pounds of weight. No, a healthy lifestyle is just mean you're just moving.
Yeah.
Give me movement.
Yes.
That movement is not anything that, is pushing the body, keeping the body in a state
Stress.
where it's a stress and a state where, it's constantly leaving you sore, in a state where you become demotivated because you don't feel like, unless you're doing this, that means that you're not moving. Moving the body means if you're doing a chair job, a desk job, where you're sitting down for 8 to 10 hours a day, you're getting up, instead of taking the elevator, you're using the stairs. So on your lunchtime, use that stairs 2, 3, 4 times up and down. It's just simple things like that. Now, what eating healthy means? It doesn't mean that you're eating grass and protein. It means that you're making healthier choices in terms of what it is that you're putting on your plate and portion size. It means replacing some of these sugar with the healthier option on your plate. I'm not saying to you that you're going to be in a calorie restrictive diet for the rest of your life. I am saying replacing some of the sugary substance, the processed food, with healthier choice. You eat 3-4 times for the day. So make at least 2 times that you eat for the day is something healthy that you're eating. That's what it means. Correct. Now, Doc can speak about, like for me, I'm gonna admit it. I'm one of those women, who, it was when I was 42, was the first time I went and did a mammogram.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're just 2 years into the screening schedule. But the thing is, if you're liaising with a doctor from early, they will let you know, because the routine screening is 40. But if you had a mother that had breast cancer, the reason it's 40 because the average age is 50. So we start 10 years before. If you have a mother or sister that had it at 45, you only need to start at 35. But that's not common knowledge. Your doctor would have to tell you that. So for me, you said we're in the 30 to 40 range. I just want to say it's never too late. So even if you weren't working out when you're 20, let's get started now. I have a lot of people and they're like, Dr. Shame, I never do a pap before. And I said, girl, welcome. Big up yourself. I'm so happy you're here now. Let's start. I'm not shaming you for not being here. 30 is the time now you can start, you know? And the thing is, a lot of people, the childbearing age demographic is shifting because a lot more women were doing our careers, we're getting our degrees, we're doing all sorts of things. 35 is the official age for advanced maternal age with them bright and out of order self. So after you're 35, you're having a geriatric pregnancy. Imagine.
Very out of order.
Out of order. But that being said, the weight is now, many women are falling into that category. So if you come at 30, so if you haven't started yet and we're in the 30 to 40, you need to start going to your doctor. Because there's certain screening things that we have to start. Certainly, you need to start doing your pap smears if you're sexually active. You should have started from a little earlier, but it's okay. We're going to do it now.
Sorry.
So we're not ready for the mammogram just yet, unless you have a strong family history of it. Or if you have fibrocystic breast, or if you have any concerns, all you need to do is make a feel and go, so, what's that? That's all. Your job is done. Go to the doctor, let them tell you that, all right, let's take it a step further, or don't worry about it. That's what your constant breast surveillance is doing. So a lot of people are like, I don't know breast exam because I don't know what I'm feeling for. Just go in the shower, soap up your body and feel your breast. That's all you have to do.
And then when something abnormal pops up,
when
you're
you
going to
go,
know.
when you reach, you're going, because you're feeling it regularly enough to be like, I don't even know what this is, but I never felt this before.
Exactly.
Or it just, something in your spirit just goes, I'm not really sure, let me get to the doctor.
Correct.
You know? And your executive profiles. Your executive profile is a battery of tests that has within it biochemical tests, that's testing your blood of what your kidney function is, your liver function, your thyroid function, if you're pre-diabetic. The point of all of this is being a step ahead of the game. You don't want it when things tumble down and you're way down the line. If you start insulin and start these things, I want to catch you when you're pre-diabetic and say, okay, you see how your foods are now? You're going to shift it up. And then the next time you do it, you see the results. And then that's when people get autonomy in their own healthcare. They say, what? I made a little change and it made this change in my body and this change in the trajectory of my life. Part of you coming to me and talking and lazing, I know, say, mommy, auntie, sister, everybody have diabetes, Mr. Girlfriend. Watch out, because you have a genetic predisposition for disposition for this. So you will have to switch up things. Everybody going to be eating and drinking and brunching, but you're going to have to switch it up a little bit, or you're going to be going down that aisle. Let's switch up things from now. So that's where my role kind of comes in. I walk with you, journey with you. A lot of you at 30 now planning a pregnancy and saying, Doc, afraid. I read on internet says 35. I'm like, calm down. The woman that delivered this morning was 42. It's okay. She was healthy. She was ready. She's fit. Of course, there are some ages that are more ideal than others. Some people have different setup than others. Some people have PCOS and may need to try now. Some people have fibroids and may need to do surgery, then try. Whatever it is, I feel like as a doctor, we need to work with hand in hand with our patients. Because sometimes there are some people that, some older doctors, they'll be like, take out the fibroids, get pregnant this year. But how? Like, am I going to pick up this baby at Price Mart because I don't even have a boyfriend, right? So, you can't just say that and send them off. It's kind of like, let's plan. All right, you have a planner, you're actively trying, when you reach in school, you can do this, how it going go. All right, so in the next 3-year plan, it's in 3-year plan down. It may shift, but we have a plan. We leave with a plan and we have that working plan going forward. Plan, you're going to start, who you like? You like to wind up yourself? Go on a Zumba. You like to lift up heavy things? Go, you like to turn over dirty tire? Go yes. So you know what I mean? For everybody.
You like to run,
you like to go down a Palisades, go run. You like see things, or you like a treadmill, say, Price Mart have them for such and such. That is a part of the plan. Some people just come in and they're like, come in and say a vagina walking in, tell me about your vagina and walk out. When I come in, it's a woman walking in that have a whole lot of issues. Some of them divorcing but want a child. So what you mean? You're divorcing or you're getting divorced? Because this time, what's going to happen? Because it's going to end soon. And if you want a child and child not going to happen if you're not living together. And this is, you know what I mean? Let's get a reasonable plan for you happening.
So I'm diabetic, DM1.
Okay.
We were talking about my insulins earlier and switching to, what am I on? Toujours. I am. I know the name. I know it changed my life, right? And as you know, DM1 is sort of genetic. And I was running marathons with my DM1. I was, cycling, swimming, stopping and taking a stick because I'm drinking the rehydration fluids. Like my aim was never to come first.
Yes.
My aim was to just finish. Because mile 20 anyway, you're going to physically die. And really, it's just like your dopey. Just take it to the 26.6.
0.2.
But 0.2, sorry. Because I feel like 26.6.
Yeah, man.
But what I wanted to say is, I was talking about this with one of my sisters this morning, and it's about the fact that we women in this country and a lot of other cultures tend to be very soul suicidal. Like we sacrifice our souls for everybody else.
Except
ourselves. We sacrifice our souls for our children. We sacrifice our souls for our partners. We sacrifice our souls for work. And our ancestors sort of taught us that, like, if you're the martyr, then it's an honor, right? And so you turn up at 55 years old, let's say to me, and you're without, like, your soul died, right? And I'm trying to work on, because I'm like you, I just don't just do a body like that. I have a conversation, where are we going with this? What's your goal, etc., etc. And some clients, by the time they're in their 50s, I'm 50, the soul has literally left their bodies. And if we practice to put ourselves first at whatever age, like we can start as teenagers, that's going to be so important in the way we contribute to our families. Because if you're all burnt out by the time you're in your 30s or 40s, you have children, you have your partner. I'm not saying this is everything. And you can't contribute anything to this relationship, male, female. You understand? Like, a client of mine said, well, himself, I'm not exciting anymore. I don't know what that means. I didn't go too much into that. But at the end of the day, keep your mental, spiritual self as free-flowing and as healthy as your body.
It needs to be alive. If
Yeah,
that
it
mindset
has to be
is
alive.
not alive,
It has to be alive. You have to learn to say no. I was telling one of my clients, she said, but what if I say no and they don't, she does everything for her family, and she come to me like, what if I say no, they're not gonna like me anymore or something like that. And I said, but if they don't like you anymore, then it's gonna be okay. Then that's not your tribe. Like, find your tribe. Find the tribe, and it doesn't have to be family. It doesn't have to be family. That protects your right to be an individual, to be a woman, to say, listen, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna tolerate this. Some of my clients, like what you just said, are divorcing for the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And I don't know how that works. Like, the moment I decided, like, this marriage was no longer for me, listen, me step out, me look a picnic under my arm and 2 paintings. Yes, 2 paintings. And I just drove off because I was like, I'm going to die. If I stay in this, my soul is going to perish. And I want us to focus more on ourselves, because if we focus on ourselves and how happy we are and how joyful we are and how well fed our insides are, and how awesome we think we are, and how amazing we wake up in the morning and embrace the world, then I think a lot more will flow down to our children and our partners. So that's a huge part of growing up. What aspect of my feminine do I need to protect?
The difficulty is the checks and balances, because if people don't get devoid of their identity and how they feel about themselves intentionally, it's just that it shifts over time to your children. So literally, when they leave, you're kind of like, what the heck is this? I'm now like the shell of myself. You don't even, the husband you met X amount of years ago, you guys are now their parents, and then now they're gone. You don't even know what he likes or don't like. You don't even know what you like. And there have been times in my life that I'm like, I don't even know what this version of Sarah like anymore. I know one time she used to like do this and that, but now it's kind of robot. Get up, do this, do the things, patience, children, this, that. That's why. So I'm not a gym person. I don't love the gym, right? But you see, when I'm in the gym, who else am I in there for? Nobody.
Yourself.
Right.
I'm not lifting this up for Caris. I'm not putting this down for Noel. I'm not doing anything but this hour.
Yes.
My hour.
Yeah. Correct.
It's your therapy time.
It's my time. So it's me and Debbie are cuss and we're, you know what? Every day you come and this is, and it's okay. Because at the end of the day, when I wake up and I feel like a soreness, I say,
Right.
yes, man, yes, girl, I
Right.
did that for you.
Right.
You know, so carve out what that thing is for you. Because there are not many things that you can do with, because you say, oh, let's go to the country, or let's do this. You're doing it as a family. That's
Yes.
not for you.
Do you complain when you're at the gym?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
It's nice though. It's a nice complaint.
Everybody
Oh my
does know.
God.
Whether,
It's
a nice
whether you love the
complaint.
workout or
Yeah,
not,
man.
you're going to have some sort of complaint.
I'm at the
Yeah,
gym
how-
and there's these young girls.
No, it's not a
Complain.
No.
The instructor
There are
says,
things I
okay, you
like.
need to do 2 sets. And she go, what? I thought you said one set.
Not whining.
No,
not
there are
whining,
things-
okay.
I want to do abs
No.
every day, all day, right?
Okay.
Debbie want me to do arms and them something there. I said, listen, no arms day. Abs every day, thighs every day. Those little things. So it's more like what I want to do, and I'm not in charge here.
Yes,
So it's the surrender. It's not
yes,
the 2 set,
yes.
3 set. Because I'm a girl. I'm going to say, so I can go on next set. Just to push it. And like, all right.
And the trainers give up when you're complaining. Not P. Not you, mommy.
No, I got
But
that. Somebody-
the males are like,
I'm about
okay.
results, you know.
Yeah.
My program is about
Push
results.
it,
So I
push
tell
it.
people, you understand me? If you want to complain, you need to go to the housewife gym.
Yes.
The minute you sign... Yeah, man, couple of them the both. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But once you sign up for my program, you understand me? You clearly come here to work out.
Correct.
Because I'm not a housewife gym.
Correct.
We're gonna put in the work to get the results that you want. Because the difference with me and other persons is
Right.
my program sells based on results.
Right.
So it's not how long you take to get to the results. You get where I'm coming from?
Right.
Is you get into the results by putting in the work. So it goes back to what Sarah says.
Yes.
When you turn up into the gym, you understand me? It's your time. You carve out that space.
Yes.
So you're not going to come and waste my time.
I have a question for you both, right? Like, you're in your 40s, right?
Oh,
Sorry.
I am.
Almost there.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
You're in your 40s, right? Or
Get
30s?
there.
You're 30s. You're in your 30s.
30
Great.
leap.
Perfect. You're in your 30s. You're in your 40s. I just turned 50. So I'm in my 50s,
All
right?
right.
What is, and your
40s.
40s.
Near 50.
I asked myself this question the other day and I got a very interesting answer from myself. What is and this is like a cliche question, but think about it. The best advice you would give to your 20-year-old self? Like knowing where you are now and you think about the 20s and the going into the 30s, bestest advice. Bestest advice.
Think about that. Do it at your pace.
Do it at your pace.
Do it at your pace. Society has dictated to us that as women, you understand me, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to conform. In terms of look-wise, in terms of family-wise, in terms of finances-wise, etc. And as such, we're trying to rush that process in getting that finances, getting the family, being the fit version of ourselves. But the truth of the matter is you lose yourself rushing through the process. So you have to do it at your own pace.
Yeah.
Do it at your pace and make sure that you're falling in love with the different stages of yourself.
Yeah.
Going through that.
Savor the different
Savor the
stages.
moment.
I love that.
It's something that I've learned in, where are we now, 2023? Something I learned January.
Oh, this show.
January 2022.
Right.
Max left for college and I
your
realized,
son?
my daughter,
your daughter, daughter.
and I realized that I've been doing everything in life to please everybody except myself.
Yeah.
So, when she left, I realized, so outside of work, what do I really do?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then, I decided, I had to sit down and start analyzing who's Patrice.
Yeah.
Outside of the partner, outside of the kids, who's Patrice?
Who is Patrice?
Well, Patrice is somebody who's loving life right now and enjoying life.
Awesome.
So I now decided that I'm going to start doing the things that I wanted to do that I never did.
Yeah.
I never did it because of society.
Yeah.
I never did it because of family, and the listing goes on and on.
Yes.
And I just started being me and enjoying the process.
You.
No, I mean, to be honest, so many unique things happened that made me accelerate my thought process in my 20s. So I think, because I say it's accelerated because I would have other 20-year-old friends. And I realized my mindset was different because I was in a different place. I wasn't, so in med school, my group of friends, I was the only one that had a child. So when I went home, I had to go home, make food, put the baby to bed, then I meet you at the library. When them refreshed and rejuvenated because they went home to sleep and come back, I had to be taking care of that child and coming. So my mindset was different. No woe is me, no. It wasn't that at all.
I'm not picking
but
that
just
up.
the way I had to process life. When she was speaking, I was thinking of what would have been my biggest fear at that point. Would have probably been the fact that things came out of order the way I had set it up in my mind, or the way society had set it up for how it should go, you know? So I already had a degree, but I wanted to finish medicine. So finish medicine and kind of the knight in China, I'm going to ride up with the slippers. I'm going to put my foot in the slippers and I'm going to have the whatever. And then after that, we're going to this and then have the children and da. But looking back now, I have everything. It came 5, 2, 1, 3, whatever. If this was how I was to list it, marriage, kids, da. But God placed everything in. I got everything I needed.
Yeah.
So standing firm in whatever situation I was in, knowing that God was going to use everything for good, would have probably given me this much more confidence. Because it was a blind confidence in that time, not knowing what he was doing, but trusting that it was going to be good. But knowing back now that, listen, anything we do me now, anything that throw me off or derail me, I will look back next year, next 5 years, and see why God do it and how he can use it. And that just gives me an extra boost of confidence in everything I do. So just knowing that, though it may not look the way I had preconceived it, knowing that I serve and trust a God that is going to work it out for good, no matter how, and it may not look like anybody else, and that is my superpower. That is what I can do. I can now relate to a 20-odd-year-old who's coming in pregnant, who is just like, but I'm in school, but I'm this. I say, girl, what do you mean? Maybe I'm going to class. What do you mean? Don't let nobody tell you that God positioned me in a place to use every single thing. And I'm like, jeez.
Did you have your child before med school?
I had him the Saturday I started med school, the Tuesday.
Love it. Of course.
And everybody. And I mean, because it was so public, I remember editorials, and she's delusional, she's not going to med school, and this and that and that. And part of it was just an extra driving because like, you can't fail.
Right.
But it wasn't like that throughout. When I did it, I don't know I med school without a child. So, I don't know. So it's how did you do it? What do you mean? I don't know how to not do it. You know, that's what I did. I had a family, I had a tribe. So I'm not like saying that anything was a whole burden. But the thing is, if you kind of make up your mind that it's never, you don't put yourself as a victim in anything. Or, okay, things didn't work out the way you thought it was going to, but that's okay. You're not in control of your own life. You're really not, you know? And if you trust God and you trust him that he's going to work it out, you kind of just take your hand off and you say, all right, God, you got this. So in my 30s, I'm a lot less hands-on. You know? And kind of like, hey, listen, no, very little is in your control. See that?
Only who you are.
Very little. Or what you choose to be, or who you choose to love, or you choose to, you know, the manifestations of your personality and how you help people. And so, you know, as I say, I remember being pregnant and praying and this and that, and then she born and then she's sick, and you're like, but God, why? And then him use that too. And it's just kind of like, I could live my life saying, I asked you for this, God, and you didn't do it. Or it's kind of like, all right, God, so you're going to use this. You understand? And I'd rather live my life like that, in that energy and that space, than this woe is me space. Because it invigorates me, pushes me. And it kind of make me see God in different ways and in different things.
And I think what I told my 20-odd-year-old self was just that. Just have more faith in yourself. I don't think I understood the need to have faith in myself as much as I had it in God Almighty. And he took me through so many, you know, illnesses, this, that, name it, that all of us have gone through, Pat. Like, you're not unique. You're not unique. You're not. All of us have been through some stuff. But trust yourself that you can make it. Don't be so hard on yourself, son. I was like super hard on myself in my 20s, even as a teenager, because I was like, okay, I need to get out of high school before 15 years old. I need everything. I always had a timeline for something. I need to get out of med school before this year. I need to have a child. And at the end of the day, it's just allowing, you said it earlier, just allowing time to unfold. Trust your instinct. Trust the decisions you make. Be good to people.
Yeah.
Be good to people.
The be good to people part
Be good
is
to
important.
people. Be good to people.
Yeah, man.
Don't expect that life is going to be good to you if you're not good to yourself and if you're not good to people. And at 50, I'm so good to myself. Like I'm like my biggest fan.
Shows.
You know?
Sure.
And it helps. It helps. And then it helps with how I relate to my husband, and it relates to how my husband relates to me, because then he sees me as taking care of myself because I value myself in a way that I want to turn up for you in the best way possible. You know, I'm doing this for me, but he sees that I turn up for him more. You know? So just trust yourself. Just trust yourself. Have faith in yourself. It's going to be okay. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be okay. That's what I said. It's gonna be okay.
For the age 40 to 50,
Yeah.
I want to add something for the 30 to 40.
Right.
Vitamins.
Yes.
These are some of the things that we need to push.
I mean,
And
you know,
encourage-
honestly, truth be told, you should be getting your full thing from your diet. But the problem is, are you really getting a good diet?
Oh,
you know?
Yes.
So right now, you don't have no excuse. Them have gummy, them have shake, them have this, they have
And
that.
everything.
Everything. So if you never did like to take the big old Centrum pill, or you still did want to chew the
Centrum
Flintstone from long time, whatever it is, there's so many formulations for you. And it's really just to bolster you. You know, if you're eating healthy, you have full balanced diet, you should be getting everything. However, if you're not so sure, just take a little thing, make a little shake, put a little thing, supplement in there. You know, a lot of, I do find my 30 to 40-year-olds starting to like, so doctor, what I must take? I mean, take what's good for you. I like one a day, you may not like one a day. You might like gummies, but if your iron is low, the gummy formulations don't allow you to have iron.
Exactly.
So you can't take a gummy thinking you're getting iron. So you need a discussion with your doctor. You can't just
That's
go
what I was
in
about
and
to
say,
say.
you know, all right, I want this one, it pink and it pretty. Or,
Yes.
you know, I wake up with the hair, skin and nails, but then my face breaking out. I'm like, it's the biting this, come up real off for that, you know. So you may just have a little discussion with your doctor around that. But there's too many options for you to think that there's nothing out there for you.
And of course, they one of the main cause of liver failure in Jamaica is too much herb supplements. Like we're drinking all
Hey, you
these
know,
herbs.
let me tell you this.
The moringa.
Because I'm wellness. I love it. There are things, most of our medicine is derived from
Yes.
something there,
Right.
the herbs and the
Natural.
plants. But let me say, I will say, all right, we need to say this, that, and that. Doc, me no know.
try the
But them go up on Instagram and draw every tea and push every no one is sitting and sit up every steaming. And I'm like, you don't even know what this mix
Yes.
in it are.
And sometimes you're wondering why they come in to see and ask you for advice.
Yes.
If them already know the
Excuse me,
answer.
thank you, say it again. Me not say it to them into their faces. One time I'm just like, so why did come today? Everything. Yes, you know, a doctor told me that. A doctor told me this too. And a doctor told me, say, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she said, well, I'm going to draw. I saw vagina this and that on Instagram. I said, oh, that's credible. That's a credible source. Anyway, you know, proceed with your tea. And I'm not a tea basher because a whole heap of people teach me about this and that and it's finding a formulation for you. But okay, you got this thing. You know that your body has to clear it. Some things are
course.
cleared by the liver. Some things are cleared
by
by
the kidneys.
You know you're diabetic. Would you like to stress out your kidney anymore?
Nope.
No, you don't even know that. But I do. So talk to me. Let's see. I don't know which dog blood or macaroon or what. Oh, it clear. Me don't know. Oh, it clear. Oh, I don't know. So the thing is, let's do things in moderation.
Yes.
And let's be
Correct.
real. You can't be shunning everything the doctor say, but willing to take any other thing that is being given to you. That
Correct.
don't make no sense.
Correct.
You must find a balance, a middle ground. I'm not going to be, some doctors are totally, no, don't come to me
Right.
with the teas. It can't be like that either, you know? And there's some people who want a healthier thing, but you'll be like, all right, I have these big fibroids, they're big like this, the whatever, I'm going to drink the tea to shrink them. That's unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
It's unlikely to happen. So let's see what your end goal is. you may not want surgery, but maybe we need to reduce the bleeding because you're anemic.
Correct.
Or this or that. I can help you with that. I don't need to come to you and say, you need surgery and come out. Because if you're not going to do the surgery, how best can I help you?
But there are some standard supplements. For example, during pregnancy, you recommend the iron or folic acid, the prenatal, stuff like that. But getting into your 40s and 50, for me, calcium is a definite add-on, especially in the 50s and 60s.
And the reason for that is as the hormones diminish,
right?
You lose your protective and the menopause. We're going there, That's why I did stop at 40. That's why I was trying not to go there.
Okay.
But yes, you can bridge the gap with the with the supplementation from so early.
Right. And so we're talking about calcium first, then we're talking about iron to maintain your oxygen carrying capacity as you get older, right? I would add zinc and magnesium for immune system and circulatory health. And then, of course, vitamin C and the B complex. I think those are... the D's are okay, but in Jamaica, I think, I think we should test for vitamin D because we have the sun helps us make that. So it's not, D's not as vital in tropical countries as it might be in countries where there's not a lot of sun. But those vitamins, I think, are like a great little standard to have that will touch on different systems. And of course, drink a lot of water. Drink hydrate. One of the reasons why you die is from your circulation that's shutting down from the periphery to the inside. So keeping your circulation vital. And one of the things that is keep hydrated. So those are the vitamins I'd recommend.
Good. So talking about our vitamins, we're going into the menopausal age group.
Correct.
What are some of the advice that we want to give to these
Give me some.
women?
Give me some.
Are you guys there yet? All right, so she will give me the first hand. We will give you the little background.
Yes.
Let me tell you, I actually really love menopause. I mean, it's weird. I know a lot of people cutting them eye and say, hey, you tell me that in the next 10 years or so. Because it's not if it happen or when. So why are we free? And this is the next lease of life. Hello, no more pad, no more period, no more. There's a whole
enjoy life
chapter to enjoy, right? So I am looking forward to that. Of course, they're the non-desirables that are associated with, just like the word non-desirables all these years with our period sometimes. No, physiologically, I'll tell you what's happening in Sandra will talk about actuality. So what happens is that throughout the whole year, we spoke about menarche going through your period, your childbearing years, hormones are going up and down every single month to release an egg, hopefully one, but sometimes two in twins and so forth, and prepare the womb for a pregnancy. Every single month, this happens over again. When it starts, after a while, God in his wisdom say, okay, enough, let's done with this now. So these hormones that do all of this egg producing and uterus preparing start to diminish. Now, one of the hormones is estrogen. Estrogen is the culprit for most of the symptoms associated with menopause. Thing is, estrogen receptors are everywhere. It's in your hair, it's on your skin, it's in your vagina, it's in the thermoregulators in your brain, as in that's the part of the brain that deal with your temperature regulation. It deals with your libido, your mood, everywhere there are estrogen receptors. So when these estrogen levels plummet, your hair change, your skin change, your vagina changes, your libido going down, then the sex not enjoyable because the vagina dry. And the partner don't understand. And he's just like, what happened? You don't like me anymore. And for him, andropause is going on. So I'm going to buy the red car and see the little girl and gone over this of theme fulfillment. And it's just everything falling down.
She did not generalize, everybody.
I'm just saying.
She didn't generalize.
Right? It can unfold that way because once again, just like in the adolescence when hormones are surging and things are happening, hormones are plummeting and things are happening. And if you don't have a profound understanding of it, because when I see the older woman, more mature woman coming with their partners, I'm like, this nice him. I don't know if my father would have gone with my mother. This nice, because he's listening and he's just looking on and saying, all right, so you're low in estrogen, but guess what? Some plants have estrogens in there. The phytoestrogens in evening primrose. They actually have holy preparation, estrogen for weight loss and because, one of the things your metabolism starts to dwindle, and
Correct.
it doesn't happen bloop so. So when you see yourself packing on the weight, it's just because your metabolism is slowing down. When you're 20,
Correct.
you could have eat Burger King every day, and it was cute.
Can't get away with it.
Can't get away with that again in the 30s, worse in the 40s. So you're doing nothing different. You're not eating any different. You may have even been working out, and it's no frustrating because you're a fit person and you're packing on the weight. But it's
Just remember
hormonal.
that the hormonal sensitive cells in the abdominal adipose tissue.
Yes.
That is trying to replace the estrogen,
Estrogen
so
that's
your tummy
going on.
is going to get.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the fatty cells hold estrogen. So your body is trying to compensate now for the loss. So it's holding on to some of it with bated breath, and you're trying to fight it off. So it's really the mental fortitude to traverse this time. Most people, when they speak about for menopause, it's the perimenopausal symptoms that they're talking about. Once you get into menopause, it kind of becomes now your new norm. But when the hormones surging up, down, today this, tomorrow that, you're kind of like, what the heck is going on? No period for 3 months, period for a whole month. Spotting stuff. It's no way to live. You don't feel sexy. You're putting on weight. Your mood changing. All these things are happening. Your children gone. You don't know yourself. You don't know what you like. Some people don't even have friends again because you don't even have a friend to talk to and say, hey, you went through this. A lot of people ask me, like, when your mother went through menopause, don't have a clue. Them have to be tracking back. Oh, yeah, she did miserable when was about in college. And, because it wasn't something, just like how you probably told your daughter when you see a period, they said that is not like, all right,
having
there.
a conversation.
I'm going through menopause now. This is what's happening with me. Because some people went through menopause at 45 and they know you have to look
I
out
went
for
through it earlier.
Sarah, 45, no.
Yes,
said that.
I went through it. I went through menopause
Guys, no,
much
so already I
earlier.
struggle with the issues
Yes,
of-
no, booby. But it's not gonna happen to you. We have to have a wee part. We have to have a wee. The first thing, and don't hold this against me. And I've wanted to be a doctor since I was 3 years old. I was very unilateral in that quest, right? But when my periods stopped, the first thing I was like, oh my God, all the period that got inside of me. Accumulate inside of me.
They said this.
I know. I know.
Let me just display it. Period is not a plumbing system.
Yes, I know.
So when it don't come, nothing is backing up within you. It is run by hormones. So if it is not coming, it's probably just a hormonal thing not triggering it.
Yes.
So when doctors tell you,
hormones
all
are
right,
in my brain.
yes, it never come.
Yeah,
Poor
the
thing.
body-
I'm glad connection is good for the soul.
Yes, the
But it's
hormones
all
are
right.
just buttering my
So you see
brain.
when the doctor even says, how about we stop the period? And you go, nothing
Where's
is
it gonna
backing
go?
up. Nothing. It's not creating. It's not backing up. Not a plumbing system.
Sarah,
Got it?
listen,
Forget facts.
listen.
No, the blood
You know, you
now
hear all
back
sorts
up.
of something.
No. So for a second, I thought that,
Yes.
doc. But then I quickly dispelled it
All
because
right.
I was like, Sandra, you're a doctor, have
Yes.
sense. And and then the second thing was that the hot flashes were tremendous. Like I would be sweating everywhere, like all over. And so my body odor changed. I started to look for different type of hygiene products. And the hot flashes were really relentless. I'm a Sagittarius. My libido never got that much. I don't know if it's a Sagittarian thing or my Sagittarian friends said that the libido didn't go either. So let's just say it's Sagittarian. But the vaginal dryness was there. So what I eventually had to do was to use a hormonal cream, compounded hormonal, which you can't get in Jamaica, by the way.
Oh,
I
it's
have to
back,
get it.
it's back.
It's back. Great. Compound hormonal cream, and that controlled the hot flashes. Brain fog descended on me like a foggy day. For months, I couldn't think, I couldn't process, I couldn't create. I was just floating through like a ghost town. I had to think about appropriate supplementation for myself. So I had to do like a full workup to see where I have deficits and stuff. My personality changed. Like my literal person, and my sister said to me, my personality changed. It's like you say, okay, so I no longer have estrogen, so you're aging. Like this is what I was thinking about. So what are the things I need to do? But in terms of the personality, I was more, initially I was more like aggressive, more intense, because like I'm going more into my masculine. Like literally my physiology was having like a masculine deviation because my feminine is like being curtailed. So I had to work on my feminine energy, like being feminine, like, like allowing my husband to do what he wants to do when he wants, like not jumping and solving every problem, not being everybody's savior, just allowing, just like the feminine, just allow things to sort of flow. And I had to work on that deeply because when I went into menopause, I found that my masculine was very, very strong and I was like thumping. And over the years working on my feminine, I realized that I had to also work on my inner child. That's another conversation. The traumas that I went through, the ones I was holding on to, like I had to like detox my soul, my body, my mind. And it's very important that that detox process happen because now I can look at myself and say, okay, Sandra, what's going on? Okay, that's what's going on, but let's address it. Don't hide from it. Let's put it forward, sit and feel it and see how it is going. So now I'm a lot more patient with myself. I'm a lot more kind. I'm very kind to myself. Like very super, super kind and loving to myself.
We see the loving part. We see it.
Yeah. And then because I'm so loving to myself, I'm able to transform that energy to like love my husband and my family in a more efficient way. Not a lot, but efficiency of love. And that's what menopause did for me. That's what menopause did for me.
The hot flashes diminished, all those things.
I don't have hot flashes anymore. It took a while for the compound cream to work. But no, I don't have hot flashes. I don't have brain fog. I do O shots and I do vaginal HIFU, which still keeps my system tight and moist. Listen to me. Every other year I does it. And I do my mammograms and, I keep it jiggy. I keep it jiggy. I do minor cosmetics. It's to look this cute, so naturally, it takes a lot of cosmetic stuff.
Oh, yes.
The more naturally look, the more.
I said, Sandra, tell me what's on your list. I said, oh, that costs $8. Nice.
Yeah. Because my skin changed texture. It looked like an alligator. My skin changed texture. My nose started flaring out more. My ears got longer. My lips started going. Listen to me. I look in the mirror one day and I was like, who's that? Stop it. Who's that? So, of course, I started
Sandra, them something I go through?
I don't know. You don't go through it.
So, Doctor, I want you to answer the question. As they usually say, persons going through their menopause, you can find out from your mother. You'd normally go through the similar.
You can, because remember, it's two sides of the family. Doubt your father will know when his mother went through menopause. But it's a good indicator, because especially if it's earlier than anticipated. Average age is between 50 and 52, so we know it will start weaning then. But if you start to display the symptoms earlier, we can do checks for that. The problem lies that if you are like in your 40, 41 and you're still trying and you're having symptoms that are indicative that you're in a perimenopausal period, it will have implications on your fertility desires. But yes, finding out from your mother is good. I mean, I'm going to say the average Jamaican has no idea when their mother went through menopause. And that's just the truth. I don't know why they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we're hoping to get set a new culture with our children and our daughters.
Yeah. Let us ask our woman land that when they get a hysterectomy, please ask the surgeon what was left and what was taken out.
That should be before. That can't be an after question.
But yes, ask it before.
So
correct.
it's like, what is the plan?
Correct.
Because hysterectomy is done at 30 or not hysterectomy is done at 40.
Exactly.
Because leaving ovaries
surprise.
in someone who is potentially
but they don't know because like women who tell me they've had a hysterectomy, I need to know whether I need to maximize their hormones to do this procedure on them. And I always ask, so did they leave any ovaries in? Did they take out
a good indicator to find out when they did it.
The age.
I don't know reasonably why anyone would take out ovaries in someone in their late 30s, early 40s, because that's about 10 more years of the protective,
Right. Correct.
cardioprotective,
Correct.
bone protective, hormonal support. But if you're 49 and I'm going in, please
Why leave
remove
them in?
something that's potentially can be cancerous in the future, because I'm going to go into menopause, and when I'm in menopause, it's of no more
Correct.
it don't serve no purpose. Also, suppose I am 43. You're kind of like, However, strong family history of ovarian cancer. Plus, you have a complex ovarian mass, and your biochemical markers maybe off. Take him out.
Let's take it out.
You finish with your children? Let's take it out.
Yeah.
You understand? Because everything now is risk benefit. So those decisions can be made on your own. But a lot of people kind of blindly go in and say, whatever the doctor do. But it's a decision that
have the conversation.
A conversation that should be had. And you probably were told, I don't believe that you weren't told.
I know, right?
But it's kind of something that you should commit to memory, because it has implications on how life is going to unfold thereafter.
Correct. Which is why I bring it up.
Right.
Because if you have a hysterectomy in your 30s, for example, and you have like a complex ovarian mass, I would say, okay, they're not going to take her ovaries out, but you had that mass. Oh, did you have a mass? Oh, I'm not sure that somebody have something from my ovary. Yeah. So I'm really insisting that you have, if you're going to have a hysterectomy, that you have that conversation with the doctor.
The best thing I think is whenever you have any surgery, there's a report of what was taken out and sent to the pathology lab that's given. Ask your doctor for that.
Great.
Keep that for your records, because if your doctor drops down or the office locked down and you can't ask them, you'll forever have that in your paper trail, as in, histopath shows uterus, one tube, and an ovary. You're supposed to have one ovary.
Perfect.
Understand?
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Patrice, we know with the menopause, you might have risk of osteoporosis. What is your advice to those persons who are at risk reaching the menopausal?
Nutrition, I believe, is important. So, it is the things that you intake is going to be very, very key where that is concerned. I don't want to say exercise, because you're already going through so many different changes where your body is concerned. So I will say nutrition, and to make sure that you're mentally preparing your mindset where that is concerned.
And actually,
the weight bearing
exercise,
very important.
resistance band, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are
key.
Yeah, but for some
bone mineral density.
You see, for some women, though, Sarah, for some women, they're already daunted by what is going on where their body is concerned. You understand me? So when you tell them that, okay, you're going to do workouts, which is resistance workout, no weights, nothing like that, etc. They don't even want to have that conversation. So I will just keep the conversation with them. Just make sure that your nutrition.
Maybe because they don't know the context. Okay. Because, I think it's kind of like, Lord, if we go take an exercise, want about everything else, just stand up in a supermarket line and this is one thing you can do for yourself.
Correct.
For your bone.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
This is one thing you can do for yourself, because physiologically your bone is not absorbing anymore because those
as much.
So it's either you're going to be giving yourself the additional supplementation. I don't think there's enough cheese and milk and so that you're going to, but you can actually get the integrity of your bone to be stronger if you do resistance. Now, if you were never working out, please don't start CrossFit.
Yeah,
holy for something there, but. I mean, maybe you should probably even look into it. Just a simple little thing, because maybe they just need to buy resistance bands at home and do a couple little things, pull it up, whatever, and then they can graduate after that. But even persons with true blue osteoporosis, they need to, that's one of the things that we do for them.
They have to do some
amount of resistance, because you can't build up on your own. You have to build up like the structural integrity. If you've gone all the way over to the heavy weights, problem, because you're going to have fractures. These people can get fractures from just walking and just dropping. So they would rather, I'd rather you do it under the guidance of someone like Patrice. But if they understand that this is something they're actually doing for themselves, rather than just one more thing, like, Patrice just love when people work out. No, miss, this is how you're helping yourself in this process. They probably more.
Another thing, let's use social media. We use it for so many things, so many idlenesses. Let us use social media and YouTube as the university it is.
For the positive side of it.
Yeah, there are so many resources out there for resistant workout for women who are entering menopause. There are sites, there are YouTubers that do it. persons on Instagram. I follow 2 people because, just how. So search for those aspects of social media too on Instagram and get educated on, because it is so important to take care of yourself. As Pat said, I said that when you're 60, they're not wheeling you off the plane. Listen, if that's your objective. Pat says I must do exercise so that when I'm 60, they're not wheeling me off the plane. No, and I don't even have a visa, so I don't know what Pat's talking about.
Yeah, but we're just using the plane as an example.
I know movie.
We're just using it as an
And if
example.
somebody might say, you go to the front of the line.
So it comes back to what Sarah was saying. Education is what's important.
Yep.
So, like in my, where I'm concerned, for the persons who don't want to have that workout conversation, I have to now approach it from an educational conversation versus this is the reason why, doing this exercise is important for you. You're not going to start out, on a scale of 100, you're going to start out from 0, work your way into it, etc., stuff like that. So education,
Correct.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yes.
One Google search, we say, true, she say that. You make that up at all.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Doc, I'm going to ask you to just touch on the 50 to 60. What are some of the things that we need to do? Is there anything that we need to intensify during this age group?
All right. So in this time, it's so hard to generalize with this because everything is individually. People have different risk factors, different things, different setups. The problem is in our demographic that we're now at high risk for the chronic lifestyle diseases. And if you didn't put some things in place, you have to be on high alert for them now and try to be a step ahead of the game. So I would say 50 and 60 and beyond. Because from you cross over into menopause, as Sandra said, from you find a sweet spot, it kind of gets a little better. And now, to me, it's a new lease on life. New chapter, the kids are gone. You can travel, you can enjoy things. But my main thing is if you're here at this point and now you don't know what you like anymore, what this version of you think, just go on this journey of rediscovering yourself or recreating what you want. Do you want to travel? Do you want to make candles? Do you whatever it is that you want to do? At this point you kind of say, all right, I just want to live a fulfilled life. And we see all these memes all the time of Jeff Bezos start this at what age and this one start this. It's never too late. So a lot of people live their life that they did what the parent wants them to do. They live very linear, provided for the children, or they were stay-at-home moms or whatever it is. Now is your time to just kick it into high gear. Health-wise, liaise with a doctor. That's your only need. Over there, over past a certain age, you need to be doing your mammograms, you need to do your pap smears, you need to do your executive profiles. Your doctor will be on top of you with that. That's not something you have to remember. And once it becomes a part of your routine, it's now a part of your lifestyle. Mental health is key at this point. I want every single 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old coming in smiling, happy. I love that period so much because they teach me so much. They come in and they're like, you need to go with your husband. I'm like, go with my husband. Listen, I have too much work to do. And they pull me back in because they have the bird's eye view of that, and it's not the end of life. It's just a new lease on life.
Correct.
So, it's a very exciting time and I encourage them to look forward to it.
At that age, I'll tell persons it's okay to say you're not okay with any challenge it is that you're having. You understand me? Any health issues, talk about it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Just talking about it, you'll also learn things about things from other persons who are experiencing the same thing, going through the same thing, how it is that they deal with it, and it will also help you in terms of dealing with it. Find the right tribe. You don't want to be getting advice from persons who them going to say to you, say, no man, at your age, you're not supposed to be doing this. No, find the right tribe. Incorporate what I call self-care time. Self-care time is your time. It's your time. You understand me? And this is a time that you use to, reconnect with yourself.
Correct.
By reconnecting with yourself, you'll also find out the things that you love doing, the things you don't love doing. You start having conversations that, I never have this conversation with Doc. I need to now go and have this conversation with Doc. Pick Doc brain, stuff like that, etc. So, those are my advice outside of the fitness element, I would give to persons where that is concerned.
Great. So for me, that aspect of focusing on yourself is so important. The only way to be able to give to your loved ones in a way that's beneficial is if your cup is full. So when you're around the table, fill your cup first. so that you're able to share to your family, your friends, what they really need. And if you feel that your mental health is not in the space where it needs to be, also seek help. Because depression is one of the things that can really occur as you get older, especially when the kids live out of the house and your friends start to pass away. You can get into it. Seek help. There's always help. And of course, it's never too late.
Never too late.
It's never too late. The kids are gone. Learn a new sport. Do something you have never. For the last 56 years, you haven't done this. Do something new. Reconnect some neurons that you were sort of dormant. Because that's one of the ways to also maintain brain health. Doing something new that you have never done before. Yeah.
Or ladies, some I go continue pick your brain
Of course.
after this. You understand? Because that's the only way it is that I'll continue to be able to help my clients.
Of course.
By
Of
always
course.
seeking out the correct knowledge.
Correct.
No problem.
Because on that note, as you say, we really should continue communicating. Because I think this was amazing.
Yes, it was.
I think the conversation could have gone on forever. So we should continue it. And, however we can, however we should. And of course, it's all about changing lives and helping women also, or men. I can't forget them.
This is International Women's Day. That's why we are.
It's about focus today.
Yeah. I know it's about us, but listen, let's catch up again.
Yeah, man.
It
For sure.
it was swell.
It was amazing.
Definitely.
It was swell.
Definitely.
Yes.
And women, we are the cornerstone of the family and of the community. So take care of yourself so we can take care of others.
Correct.
True. I love that. I love that.
Love that.